Hawks win on a comeback in a shootout. 3-2 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yes, the Chicago Blackhawks win in a shootout over the Blue Jackets. And Robin Lehner gets his first Blackhawk shootout win. Congratulations, Lehner. It was a great performance by him tonight in this game. He kept the Hawks in this game from pretty much the beginning, and the Hawks needed a comeback to win it. Coming back in the third period, where that's the second time in less than a week that they've done it. So, good job by the Blackhawks to doing it. So, again, the Hawks win 3-2 in a shootout over the Columbus Blue Jackets. So, it was a 2-2 game, basically, but it took a while for the Hawks to find their scoring touch. And I have to say, this was a great comeback for the Chicago Blackhawks. They found a spark from one goal, and they just took advantage of it. After that, they started finding their game. They played well after the second period of hockey. The second period was not so good for the Blackhawks, even though Robin Lehner kept the Hawks in it, not allowing the Blue Jackets to score. The Hawks managed coming back, and it was a great fashion. Let's talk about the shots on net for tonight. It was 30 shots for the Blackhawks, 33 for the Blue Jackets. In the first period, the Hawks had 4 shots. The Blue Jackets had 9. Second period, it was 8-13 advantage Blue Jackets. And then the third period, the Hawks started to get the shooting off. 11-8 in favor for the Blackhawks. Then in overtime, this is the most amount of shots I've seen by any team in an overtime in a while. 7 shots by the Blackhawks to the Blue Jackets 3. So it was 33 for the Jackets, 30 for the Hawks. Then we got the shootout, and it was a great shootout. It was a great game by the Hawks, even though the power play did not look so well. But we did get key moment on the power play. So in power play numbers, it was 1-5 for the Blackhawks, 0-3 for the Blue Jackets. Hits, it was a low hitting game, 9-9. Yeah, not many hits were thrown today. It was not that type of game. It was more so skill game whoever has some more skill is going to come out on top. And then block shots, the Blue Jackets held that number 23-10 in favor for the Jackets. Giveaways 9-8 in favor for the Jackets because Hawks gave up the puck 9 times. Takeaways, it was 4-6 in favor for the Jackets. In my opinion, the Jackets outplayed the Hawks, but face-off wise, the Hawks won 54% of the face-offs to the Jackets, 46%. So, let's get into the goals of the game. Why not? Since I've pretty much covered every other stat. In the first period, at 6:54 in the first period, Riley Nash scores his 3rd goal of the season, assisted by David Savard to make it 1-0 Blue Jackets. This goal was a hard goal for the Hawks to give up because it kind of was where Lehner was green, the Blue Jackets were rushing up on a 3-on-2 rush, and it went off of Cuckoo's boot of his skate, and it knuckled in past Lehner, making it a 1-0 game for the Blue Jackets. And then the scoring's not over for the Blue Jackets. At 18:40 in the first period, Pierre-Luc Dubois scores his 13th goal of the season, assisted by Nick Foligno and Gerby of the Blue Jackets to make it 2-0. This goal, it's kind of on Erik Gustafsson because he turned the puck over. He shouldn't have tried feeding it up the middle of the ice. He could have gone off the boards if he wanted to try to clear it out of the defensive zone. He tried going up the middle of the ice. Blue Jackets got advantage of the puck, cycled it around. Foligno feeds it right over to Pierre-Luc Dubois, and he had a wide open net. Nothing Lehner could do there. And Gustafsson was in the net trying to play goalie. He could have played up and tried not to play goalie, and maybe he could have got a shot block. But the Blue Jackets take a 2-0 lead. We go to the second period. That was honestly a rough period to watch if you're a Hawks fan, because the Hawks just looked like they were getting outplayed, outskated. It just did not look like anything was clicking for them. They just did not seem to find their game in the second period. But Robin Lehner played great, and he kept the Hawks in it and keeping the game a 2-goal game. So we go to the third period where the Hawks are down 2-0. And it took them about 10 minutes into the period to find their game, but at 7:33 in the third period, scored by number 17, Dylan Strome, assisted by number 5, Connor Murphy, and number 12, Alex DeBrincat, to bring the game within 1. This is Strome's 8th goal of the season. It came off of a tip-in. Murphy rips the puck from the blue line, goes right off of Strome's stick, and it goes top shelf in the net. Hawks bring it within 1. Hawks are not done scoring yet. They need to tie this game, and at 17:58 in the third period on the power play, scored by number 56, Erik Gustafsson, his 5th goal of the season, assisted by number 2, Duncan Keith, and number 5, and number 8, Dominic Kubalik, to make it a 2-goal game. It's tied 2-2 each. Hawks bring it in. This was a one-time shot by Guster to make it the tie game. Much needed power play goal. He gets that goal back that kind of was his fault in the first period. And the Hawks tie the game up. Energy all on the Blackhawks to try and win this game. So we go to overtime, where, as you can tell, no goals were scored. But the Hawks had a power play, and they were just cycling the puck, trying to get it on net. That's how they got their 7 shots in the period, in the overtime. And then late in the overtime, Hawks had too many men on ice, penalty on the Hawks. With 17 seconds remaining in overtime, the power play is for the Blue Jackets now. And it looked like they could have scored, but it did not pass the line at 0 seconds remaining in the game. The Blue Jackets thought they scored, but they didn't. Robin Lehner made a great save in the game in that overtime, saving the game, in my opinion. If he didn't make the save, the puck probably would have gone in the net, and the game probably would have ended with a second remaining in overtime. But we have to go to a shootout. And everyone knows Robin Lehner isn't the greatest at the shootout. He's admitted it because it's not hockey. I agree with Lehner. It's not hockey. But Lehner gets his first shootout win as a Blackhawk, his 9th of his career in the NHL for a shootout. So the Blue Jackets elect to go shoot first. Pierre-Luc Dubois goes up the ice, trying to pick the top glove side corner of Lehner, and he missed on this shot. So the Hawks get the first shooter now. Second shooter of the shootout, first for the Blackhawks. And it's, as you know, it's Jonathan Toews who always shoots first for the Hawks. Toews goes straight up, dekes Korpisalo out, and makes him pull his groin, goes 5-hole backhand in. Hawks have a 1-0 lead in the shootout. So, the Jackets look to tie the shootout up with Gustav Nyquist. Nyquist goes up. He finds his corner. It's the same. He does the same shot that Pierre Dubois did, and it goes past Lehner. So it's 1-1. Now we have Patrick Kane in the shootout, facing a very cold goalie in Elvis Merlinkin. And Kane goes up, stick handles the puck like 15 times, goes up fast, slows down stick handling, and goes backhand top shelf past Merlinkin to make it a 2-1 shootout lead for the Blackhawks. Now we need a save. If Robin Lehner makes the save, the Hawks win the game. Kirby of the Blue Jackets has the opportunity. He goes up. He goes the same shot, basically, on Lehner. And Lehner's best friend, the post, saves the game. Hawks win it in the shootout. Yes, Robin Lehner wins the shootout. And thank you for that post. I was afraid because it is the shootout and everyone knows Lehner, not the greatest. We win the game. I know it's a shootout. I'm not a fan of them either. But we get the win, get the 2 points, steal the extra point over the Blue Jackets. And the Hawks now go to Calgary for our next game on the 31st. So down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts are from tonight's game. And thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, let's go Hawks!